I think I'm live. Let's see. All right, we're good. We're good. We are live, Little Joan. Little Joan somewhere in the background. And this is Hollywoke Hot Take Live. And we are going to be talking about movies and box office and other things that we like to talk about. We'll see how the chat goes. Right, Little Joan? She's having her dinner. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I've got a little bit of a cough. It's dry here. It's so damn dry. So I've got plenty of cough drops, so I should be able to get through this. But let's get into it. First up, my week. I did nothing. I don't have any shows. Well, I did have one show this week. I went to, oh gosh, where was it? I forget where it was. It was All America Health something for the locals there. That was in Dennis, New Jersey. And they were very nice. Very nice. They enjoyed the talk. Next talk for me is at the Blue Rascal in Hamilton, New Jersey at 7 p.m. That's on Thursday. And that should be a lot of fun. And just getting back into the year, man. Working on book 20. Getting ready to go. That's been my week. Spending time with family, friends, and the girlfriend. And it's been great. She made a turkey the other day. I love turkey so much. She gave me like pretty much the entire turkey to take home. And I've been making my favorite, which are after the turkey dinner, making turkey sandwiches and then eating the stuffing along the side. I've had many a turkey hoagie. It's delicious. All right. So, we're going to get into it. We're going to look at the box office today. It's 7 p.m. and no one's here yet. Well, people should be here shortly. Yeah, let's just dive right into it. First up, the number one movie, again, God, is this the fourth week in a row? At Avatar, at Fire and Ash. People are gluttons for punishment, I guess. 21.3 million. How much has this thing made? $1.2 billion. Indie Phantom is here. Hello, and welcome to the BO. Hey. That's a good catchphrase. I like that. Yeah, Fire and Ash did really well in China, but didn't do too great in the States. 342 million is okay, but it's not great when you think about it. Indie Phantom says Fire and Ass continues. Yes, it certainly does. After that first movie, so out. I don't know why people watch it. I don't know why people love it, but they do. They like good-looking movies, I guess. And in other countries outside the United States, that's a big selling point. It's a spectacular. It's not really a movie. It's like a ride. You know? It's like back in the day, I used to go to Great Adventure, and you could go into, I forget what they called it, but it was like a giant IMAX thing where you'd stand in the middle of the floor, and it was this big round screen that went past your field of vision. And then the idea was they would show you like footage of a roller coaster going up and down. And because you couldn't see past the edges of the film, it felt like you were on a roller coaster. And it was done in 70 millimeter, I guess. And so that was a lot of fun. But, you know, that to me is like Avatar. It's not really a movie, it's a ride. Number 2 is Primate. Now, I did a trailer thing on this one, 11.3 million. This is a horror movie done with a monkey. So, pretty much jumped the shark on monkey entertainment at this point. But this is actually kind of what happens to people. They buy a monkey and they don't treat it well, and it turns on them. And when a monkey turns on you, you'll be lucky to escape with your face. They're strong, and they don't mind biting you in the face apparently. So this chimp is in the family, and it turns on this family. But of course, it's like the teenagers or the the college age kids who are most affected, because you got to have hot chicks in a horror movie, right? It looks fine. I mean, it's not my kind of movie. I feel bad for the monkey in some respects, and then I also look at the humans like as being really extra stupid, because it's stupid enough to have a monkey as a pet, but it's even dumber not to have a gun handy in case the monkey gets out of control. Indie Phantom avatars are still out there. Avatars, I mean. JC is here. Hi, hi, hi. Indie Phantom primate could be cool. More like Link, Shakma, and Monkey Shines, which were badass 80s horror. Link has naked Elizabeth Shue in her prime. Ooh, that sounds great. I'll have to check that out. Naked Elizabeth Shue. Number 3 is The Housemaid, which has already been greenlit for a sequel. 11.2 million. It almost was the number 2 movie. Doing pretty good. 192 million. This thing only cost 35 million. So I can see why they greenlit a second movie. Does Amanda Seyfried die at the end of this thing? I kind of think she should. And if she doesn't, what the hell is the sequel going to be about? It's like Sydney Sweeney gets another job house cleaning, and then another psychopath she works for tries to kill her. Or somehow she ends up working for Amanda Seyfried again? That would be crazy. Number 4 is Zootopia. Finally starting to die down. Man, this movie had legs for days. 10.1 million. Basically doing better than Avatar. Which, I feel that it's a slightly better movie. I haven't seen it, but I mean, Zootopia 2 doesn't promise you much, like Avatar does. So, 1.6 million? Yeah, it's for kids. Fine with that. But still, a lot of this is overseas. The Chinese love this damn thing, which means the movie really didn't make that much, but as much as it would if it was $1 billion here. But again, who the hell's going to movies? Indie Phantom. Think they had more than one housemaid book. Well, I think you're still running the same problem. Why is this woman... I mean, if you had a bad experience at the first house and Amanda Seyfried tries to murder you, I think you'd give up being a maid. Indie Phantom. So sequels should be coming. All right. Is it like Murder, She Wrote? Nobody understands why Angela Lansbury's friends keep dying off. Nobody suspects her. she's the only common link between all the victims. Number 5 is Greenland 2 Migration. I can't believe they made a sequel to this thing. This one's actually kind of interesting sequel-wise. Is this the first week for this thing? It is. 8.5 million. Because the first movie is about the end of the world, and my understanding the second movie is after the end of the world. They come out of the bunker or whatever they hid in. And now they're trying to, I don't know, rebuild the world, or trying to find an area of the planet still habitable. That's kind of different for a dystopian film. So, it's weird. A little different. But I'm so sick of Gerard Butler. I really am. He's been in too many crap movies. He's kind of just, I loved him in 300, and that's about it. And maybe, what was he in? was in some heist movie that I think I liked. But I don't know. Indie Phantom, $90 million budget on Greenland 2. $90 million. Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, this thing ain't going to make its money. That's done. That's cooked. $90 million? No way. What were they thinking? I don't even think the first one made that kind of money, did it? Let's see. Greenland. It was just called Greenland, I think. Did they just make this because Trump decided to buy Greenland? Is that the only reason? Did Danes say, oh, you got to green light this movie? Trump will buy Greenland and then you won't have a movie out. Oh, man. Holy crap, I'm right on the verge of coughing again. I've been... Once I start eating these cough drops, then if I stop the cough drops, I'm going to start coughing. So, I'm like 50% menthol at this point. Oh, come on, numbers. Give me the damn stats on Greenland. There it is. Oh, this thing only made $40 million. What are you kidding me? $40 million. The production budget was 34. That's still not money. I mean, you add the domestic video sales, you're still in the hole. You're telling me you made a sequel to this thing for $90 million? That's like almost 3 times what the first movie cost you. Why would you spend that kind of cash? This sounds like a tax write-off. Who made this thing? Who made this thing? Riverstone Pictures, at Anton Capital Investors, and Thunder Road Films. Who the hell are these people? Well, I think they don't know what they're doing in terms of movies. The only thing I could think of is these are some climate morons, and they decided, oh, we got to make a sequel. We have to make a sequel. Maybe they greenlit it. Jesus, that's a ridiculous budget for that movie, and for a Gerard Butler movie. Let's be honest. I would not put Gerard Butler in a $90 million movie now. He belongs in B movies. He should be doing those not too distant future movies that Bruce Willis had to do late in his career. Number 6, dropping from 4, is Marty Supreme. $7.6 million. I don't think this movie's going to make its money. It's at $78 million? No. It had a production budget of 70. So it needs to do 140 plus 35. That's 175 million. About 100 million short. But they don't care. This is all Oscar bait. They think, oh, we'll give it a bunch of Oscars and then we'll run it back in the theaters and then it'll make its money. What century are you living in, Hollywood? That doesn't happen anymore. No one gives a rat's A about the Oscars. No one cares about the Oscars anymore. What's Oscar worthy here? Anaconda? No. It's the next movie. Dropping from 5 to 7. This is a total wait for video movie, or wait for streaming. Whatever, box office pull Paul Rudd had is gone, and Jack Black's is just about gone. No budget. Indie Phantom. I like that Kevin O'Leary slammed the budget. Well, he's a money guy. He knows what he's talking about. He said they should have AI extras, says Indie Phantom. Yeah, he's right. JEC. Oscars are going on YouTube in 2029. LOL. Literally just giving up. Here's my question. Why aren't they going on the YouTube now? I think the only answer is they've got contracts. They have to wait until they run out. They got to be losing money left and right on the Oscars. Putting them on YouTube ain't going to help anything unless they run it like a YouTube show, like half-ass, like I do. I mean, if you ran the Oscars like a half-ass YouTube show, you let somebody actually screw around with it, someone like Ricky Gervais or someone equally funny, oh, it'd be great. I'd love it. They ain't gonna do that. No way. I think they'll literally. I think YouTube itself will actually spend money, and then try to elevate some of its YouTube-approved talent, whoever that is. Indie Phantom. I will watch Anaconda because it looks like some crap to pirate when I want to watch something lame in the morning. I like the first real movie. I would have been up for this if Thandie Newton wasn't in it. Thandie Newton is not funny. I don't think she belongs in this movie, and I think it has to drag it down. JEC, the networks need that 5-hour time block for NCIS reruns. Yeah, they sure do. It's the only thing making any money on regular TV, I hear. Indie Phantom, the flicking globes are happening now. So many woke movies. The globes are so done. I mean, they're so done. Yeah, they're going to give like one battle after another, like every award they could possibly think to give it. But who cares? That's another thing about the Oscars. I mean, there's so many other award shows now. It just eats into the Oscars. Half the people going to these things don't want to do more award shows. They got to go work. Indie Phantom. Thandie Newton is crazy woke. Yeah. That's why she's not funny, in my opinion. I bet she was looking at the script going, no. Oh, I'm not saying that. Why don't I have as many lines as the white men? No thanks. Why would you put Thandie Newton in this? I don't even understand. Like, it's Paul Rudd, Jack Black. You pick another funny chick. Another funny chick. I mean, a funny chick. Like Jenna Ortega, kind of. Aubrey Plaza certainly would be perfect. Who else could you pick? Jenny McCarthy, even? That would have been perfect. You don't have to spend a lot of money on her. She would have done it. She still looks good. Thandie Newton. Thandie Newton's last movie was super ultra woke and depressing. I forget what it was called. Indie Phantom. How can they not award Sinners? They're going to pick a white boy fantasy over Ryan Coogler. Backlash incoming. Well, Sinners is definitely going to be nominated for a bunch of things, and it is going to win. I think Sinners will win whatever the award is for musicals, because there's music in it. And that's the one award they don't have to give One Battle After Another, because I don't think there's a musical number in One Battle After Another, is there? I don't know, I didn't say it. But they're going to give, I think they're going to give One Battle After Another Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Director. And then maybe like a bunch of other awards to kind of put it in there. And then they'll give Sinners like, the Best Musical Equivalent Award. And then they'll give them like Best Adapted Screenplay or something like that. Or no, that's what One Battle After Another get. They'll get Best Adapted Screenplay since it's based on a book. And then that way Sinners can win Best Screenplay. But keep in mind that they did change the rules on voting for the Oscars. So the people who now vote in the Oscars are all current Hollywood D-bags, not the old guys anymore. The old guys are mostly out, except for the handful of ones that are still actively working. So the pressure will be to vote for the wokest movie, but since the voting all leans towards the DEI employees they hired in the last 10 years. They have to pick between, oh, do we pick Sinners because Ryan Coogler is black, or do we pick One Battle After Another because it's about communism? After the events in Minnesota, they may very well lean towards One Battle After Another. So, but yeah, I mean, Anaconda is a movie I would have been psyched to see. Now, like, if I stumble upon it and I remember it's on somewhere and I hear it's okay, I might watch it. It looks like it kind of made some money. 110 million? That might be money. I don't know what the budget was. I can't imagine it's over 40 million, 50 maybe. Seems like that should be money when all is said and done. Number 8, dropping from 6, SpongeBob SquarePants Search for SquarePants, 3.8 million in its 4th week. 132 million, that's money in the bank, baby, I think. Probably for this movie. Dropping from 7 to 9 is David from Angel Studios, the animated movie about King David, in its 4th week. Or David and Goliath or whatever. 75 million on a $60 million film. Yeah, it's not money. It's not money, but this is sort of an evergreen for the religious types. They'll rent this until the cows come home. So they'll make money on the back end, I think. In very strong DVD sales on that. Or at least guaranteed DVD sales. But still, it doesn't seem like it made money. It needed to make more like 120 million. And I don't think it's going to come... It's not going to crack... It won't crack 100 million. So... Song Sung Blue. This movie kind of just fizzled. 3 million. Made $40 million. I thought this movie would make money. But I think it was just too late. And 40 million? That sounds maybe break even at best. Itchy. Next up, number 11 in its 4th week is This Thing On. Finally getting into a regular theater run. 2.4 million. This is basically Punchline, but more serious with Will Arnett. And it looks like Laura Dern's in it too. Is that Laura Dern? It looks like her. And it's directed by Bradley Cooper, who's quickly becoming a not very good director, it seems. I mean, he's just behind the curve. It is Laura Dern. I think he's just behind the curve. He just, As their marriage unravels, Alex faces middle age and divorce, seeking new purpose in the New York comedy scene. Meanwhile, his wife Tess confronts sacrifices made for their family, forcing them to navigate co-parenting and identities. What kind of pitch is that? It sounds so effing boring. And there's stand-up comedy in it? That just sounds boring. The Punchline movie, which was Tom Hanks as a stand-up comic, was semi-serious, and that was funnier than that. I didn't even want to say it. And I'm a stand-up guy. I love stand-up. I couldn't wait to see Punchline, but that I can totally pass on. Premiering at 12, The Rajab Saab. That sounds very much like a Bollywood thing. Indie Phantom, Bradley Cooper is past tense. Oh! Nice one. Ha! Ironically, that's probably funnier than any line in the movie. The Rajab Saab. 2.3 million. That's only in 620 theaters. Wow. No write-up on this thing? Let's see if there's one on the IMDb. I doubt it. The Raja Saab. Oh, there it is. A young heir embraces both his royal heritage and rebellious spirit as he rises to power, establishing an unprecedented rules during his reign as Raja Saab. Oh, I thought it was going to be about a royal car. But, alright, whatever. Indie Phantom, I heard pro Ella McKay reviews were released in France, even though the film didn't open. JEC, stand-ups really appreciate a movie that reminds them how poor their life choices were. Yeah, we sure do. That's why I named the webcomic about stand-up comedians Miserable Comedians. Clint Miller's here. I was pondering whatever happened to Bradley Cooper earlier today. Thanks for the updates. Yeah, he's in the movie too. Like, he is so funny in the first Hangover movie. I love his character in that. He's a teacher, but he's kind of an a-hole in real life. And then, like, I love the character arc in the movie. And he becomes friends with Zach Galifianakis. And when the second movie was coming out, I thought, oh, this would be so great to play on that relationship. And then Todd Phillips just abandons it. Indie Phantom. They canceled its release all over Europe. Basically, an AOC fantasy movie. It looked boring as F. I mean, Woody Harrelson gets emasculated. Ella McKay is great at everything. And Jamie Lee Curtis plays her mom, her divorced mom, who also emasculates Woody Harrelson and calls Emma or Ella, or whatever her name is, the greatest thing since sliced bread. I mean, how many more girl boss movies can you stand? Jesse is here. Sup, dudes? I'm back to talk about hot 80s chicks, tits, and movies. Welcome. Unfortunately, there are no hot 80s chicks in most of these movies. Possibly the Raja Saab. I'm sure they have a hot chick in there, but you won't see any tits in a Bollywood production. That would be a non-starter for them. I don't think they have topless women in their movies. I've never seen one, if there is. If any of my Indian fans are out there, let me know if there are any Indian movies with topless girls. I've never seen one. I wonder what the laws are in India. I bet it's illegal. I bet that turns it into a different kind of movie. After the Raja Saab, No Other Choice. That's that Korean movie where the dude kills the other guys interviewing for the same job. JEC, someone was talking about Ella McKay on their worst of the year list. They were saying it feels like a script from the early 2000s. They just got around to making it now. Well, it's James Brooks. He's an old guy. Clint Miller, did Justin Bartha die or just his career? I don't know. I don't know who that is, but we'll find out. Justin Bartha. All right. Oh, I think he may have died. There's a lot of pictures of him. He looks familiar. I'm not seeing. Let's see. Let's go to Wikipedia. Nope, he's alive. According to Wikipedia, they're usually pretty good about the deaths. And that's the one thing you can rely on Wikipedia for. Indie Phantom, I would see more Bollywood if they had titties. Yeah, I don't recall ever seeing a topless girl in the Indian movies. And it would make sense from the standpoint of how like Bollywood's movies are, or Indian movies are like still kind of cool and manly, but it is in India. So that's like a different world where the rules are different. They do have a pretty sizable Muslim population. So that might be a non-starter. Might be, no, you can't do that. The last one I reviewed was a Muslim Indian movie called Haq. H-A-Q. And what it is, it's a divorce between two Muslim Indians, and it was based on a true story, and it's it's a courtroom drama about whether or not you can use Sharia law in the Indian court system. And it was kind of interesting just to watch the trailer. I don't think I'd watch the movie, but JEC, if they had nude ladies in Indian movies, they wouldn't be bugging white chicks for nudes all the time. That's true. That's a good point. Jesse, the closest we get is belly dancers with Indian flicks. Yeah. Let's see. So 13 was No Other Choice, that South Korean movie. It did pretty good, 1.3 million. What did this cost, I wonder? Did better in South Korea. 24 million total on a production budget of 12.2. That's probably money. They didn't spend anything advertising that here. See, this is where the formula breaks down. You know, they say, well, it's half the ticket sales plus half the budget. So you got to multiply any budget by 2.5 in order to figure out how much money the movie needs to make. But I don't think that this movie would count. I mean, I don't know what the box office draw is for South Koreans. I mean, the theater split might be completely different over there, number one. But number two, I don't think they spent any money promoting this year. Certainly not $6 million. To make $3 million, pretty much you put anything in enough theaters, it'll probably make $3 million eventually. You know, unless it's woke. Next up, I Was a Stranger. This is a new movie from Angel Studios, premiering for $1.2 million. A doctor, a soldier, a smuggler, a father, and a captain in a world divided by borders and war. 5 lives intersect in the pursuit of safety and belonging? You had me up until that. Their journeys reveal heartbreak and fragile beauty of those who dare to start over. That doesn't sound great. Angel Studios, lately, I don't understand their picks for movies. Ever since Animal Farm came out and I realized that was Angel Studios, I'm very much questioning Angel Studios. I thought that was going to be the new right-wing Hollywood. Now I'm just like, I don't know if I want it to be the right-wing Hollywood now. They started so strong. Jesse. Sounds kind of woke. Yeah. My reaction too. Speaking of woke, number 15 is Wicked for Good, dropping from 950K. Go away, Wicked for Good. Go away for good. This thing crack $1 billion? I don't think it did. No, 522 million. Number, what was that, 16, dropping from 10, Five Nights at Freddy 2, 870K. This movie did surprisingly well. Jesse, I never really trusted Angel Studios. I think they're mainly Mormon. Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's made money. Yeah, 51,234,000 return. So that's pretty good. I think they'll be doing a final movie, a third movie. They should be doing a new video game, if anything. Number, I think, 17, Hamnet. Excuse me. Oscar bait, 580K. JC, did they? Seemed like they were putting out generic low-budget action slop and marketed it as right-wing. When did they put out anything good? Well, they did that movie about the child trafficking with Jim Caviezel, and it was a huge phenomenon. It did pretty decently. So I was kind of rooting for him after that came out, because the marketing on that was amazing, because they basically sort of said, oh, you got to, basically support this movie so we can stop child trafficking. And so they actually got fans to push the movie into theaters. And they did a lot of, that was the first time I think they did the pre-sales on one of their movies. So that worked out pretty well for them. And then they tried it with another movie. It didn't work out as well. So that was pretty good. And then they put out a couple other religious movies, and I thought, okay. And then they put out that Homestead movie. So, I don't know. I thought they seemed to be building upon, and then they put out Animal Farm, and I'm just like, what? And then a couple other movies that seem a little woke, and I don't know, they were about immigrants. So I don't know. Indie Phantom. Wicked for Wood is already on digital. Jesse, there's another Five Nights? Good Lord above. Oh yeah, that's the sequel. His daughter goes into the Chuck E. Cheese or whatever it is, and then he has to go save her. Indie Phantom. Chloe Zhao getting woke-ass Oscar buzz. She is also up for a Globe. Yeah, well, Hollywood is trying to tell us, oh, you were idiots for not watching The Eternals, embracing her. Jesse, I heard Sound of Freedom was a big bluff and not really true. I only saw one video on it, but I'm not too sure. It was a depressing film, though. It was kind of depressing, but it was pretty good. It was made for a low amount of money and seemed to do well. JC, oh yeah, the Pizzagate conspiracy crowd, of which I am a member of, came out big for that one. Yes, they did. Next up, dropping from 11 to 18, We Bury the Dead. This is part 2 of the end of Daisy Ridley's career, dropping 85%. How can you people screw up zombies? This is a zombie movie. With her husband missing in the aftermath of a catastrophic military experiment, a desperate woman joins a body retrieval unit in hopes of finding him alive, but the search takes a chilling turn when the corpses she's burying start showing signs of life. How? How do you make a zombie movie unappealing? I guess put Daisy Ridley in it. I'm sort of torn about Daisy Ridley, because on one hand, I think if she had been put in appropriate movies, she would have been okay in them, at least okay. And had she been put in appropriate movies, there'd be no way she'd go back to Star Wars. But now, since every movie she's in seems to have tanked, I think she's going to do another Star Wars movie, which I don't want to see happen. It would have been great, at least for the guy, me, who hates current Star Wars, that Daisy Ridley was at least powerful enough in Hollywood to say no to Star Wars, right? That she could just say, oh, no, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't need it. Kind of like, what's her face? Natalie Portman. But yeah, it's I think she's going to go right back to Star Wars. Jesse, honestly, I'm so out of touch with films now, I have no idea of any of these. Yeah, nobody's going to see anything. Everything's on streaming. I just watched Play Dirty. You could check out my review of that. That wasn't too bad. It was written by Shane Black. Stars Mark Wahlberg. as Parker, and Parker is this character Hollywood's been doing for years. They've made a bunch of they did like six. The original author did 16 books about Parker, and it's like a film noir kind of thing. So you've had Lee Marvin, Mel Gibson, Jason Statham, Robert Duvall, and now Mark Wahlberg all play Parker in various stories. So it wasn't bad, but it's not great. So it kind of doesn't work for modern times, I'll say. But at least there were cool car chases. Indie Phantom, time to bury Daisy Ridley's career. I won't watch a Ray movie. She sucks, in my opinion. I just think she's miscast. Like, she's cute enough. Put her in some hot outfits. You know? Tell her she's going to be in a movie where she has to be hot and she'll be in a bathing suit. An actress like her would then go, oh, okay, I better go work out, right? And she'll starve herself and work out for like 3 months and get herself all, ready to go. And then she'll be in the movie. She'll look hot as hell. I mean, she was the right age for it. Instead, they put her in that stupid Die Hard movie where she's like a window washer, but it's Die Hard. And then they put her in this movie. Like, it just seems they're miscasting her, or she has the worst taste in scripts. I mean, it could be that. JEC, The Rise of Skywalker came out like 7 years ago. Why are these Daisy Ridley movies out now? I barely remember what Star Wars was at this point, let alone Daisy Ridley. Well, they keep talking about that Daisy Ridley's returning, so I'm just saying, like, if she got enough of a career, she didn't really need Star Wars. She might just turn it down. Indie Phantom, I will watch Play Dirty for the Shane Blackness. Yes. Jesse, I went through a list of some films showing this year, and one called Werewolf with a U is the main interesting one. I don't remember that one. I kind of remember the name, but I don't remember the movie. JEC, I like it when Darwin Cook adapted Parker into the comics. She's cute, but she's flat as a board. That's why they cast her. Very pretty, but built like a 14-year-old boy. Is she built that way, or is it just that she is dressed like that? Let's see if we can get a good picture of Daisy Ridley. I'll put Daisy Ridley and then sexy, and see if a good image comes up. I would, yeah, she's a bit flat, but she looks good in that picture. I mean, she's a solid A, but I don't know. She's cute. She's still young enough. Oops. I probably can't show that one. See, then they dress her like that. Yeah, she looks no bueno. See, I mean, there she looks hot. I mean, I get that it's mostly an illusion. Indie Phantom, cleaner is Die Hard in a building. Yeah, that's right. That's the movie with Daisy Ridley. Cleaner. Yeah, she looks good there. JC, talking about her coming back to what? The scene of arson she committed? She's doing it to roll around in the ashes. Well, it's not her. I mean, she doesn't make the movies. She just stars in them. So, but like, she's got no career. She's got no other career, in my view. At least give her a TV show. Maybe if you give her a TV show, she wouldn't have to come back to Star Wars. Give her a sitcom. But I think she's still young enough. She could be, in a rom-com or something. Something that has a chance of making some money. But, I mean, she's just going back to Star Wars. And it's going to be pathetic, too, because you're right. She does look like a 14-year-old boy. She looks super, super young. I don't know how old she is. How old is Daisy Ridley? I would say she's still got to be in her 20s. Right? She's got to be in her 20s. 1992? No, she's 33. She looks amazing for 33. I mean, you're right. She looks super young. JC, maybe go off and start a family, Daisy. I think you're done. Man, she's 33. She looks pretty amazing for 33. JC, she's got to be 32. Did you really think she was 32? See, she looks younger to me. But she can play younger. I mean, she's petite. She's got a young face. I don't know. Maybe it's time for her to just get a sitcom and raise a family on the sitcom and off camera. Next up is Father, Mother, Sister, Brother. This was an indie film in its third week, but really it's its second week because they're finally putting it in slightly more theaters. So 343K. It's not doing too well. Secret Agent, more Oscar bait, 165K. JC, yes, I thought she was 32 because those Star Wars movies were 10 years ago. That's right. Yeah, if she was in her 20s, well, she could have been in her late teens. Dead Man's Wire. Oh, this is Bill Skarsgård and Gus Van Sant, based on a real dude, of the 1977 kidnapping of a prominent banker. Yeah, I don't know. They're saying it's the best Gus Van Sant movie in years, but it looks okay. I'm not like dying to see a movie about a kidnapping from 1977. JC, obviously she's in her 30s at this point, but she looks younger. She could play younger. I think she could still, I mean, maybe the pictures I just showed are earlier pictures of her. I don't know. Rosemead, in its 6th week, I forget what this is, $103,000. An ailing woman uncovers a terrifying secret. Her teenage son is consumed by violent impulses. As her health rapidly declines, she's forced into a desperate struggle. How far will she go to stop what she fears he is becoming? And what is she willing to sacrifice to protect him? That does sound kind of cool. Eternity, going out of theaters, 85K. The voice of Hind Rajab, sounds like another Bollywood flick, 78K. The Chronology of Water, directed by Kristen Stewart, don't care, 75K. All That's Left of You, premiering way here at the bottom in 2 theaters, JEC, best Gus Van Sant movie since the Psycho remake, I guess. JC, you think she still looks great because you haven't seen her in anything in 10 years, LOL. Here's the synopsis for All That's Left of You. West Bank, 1988, when young Noor is seriously injured during a protest, his mother, Hanan, begins to tell her family her family's moving story. The narrative takes us back to 1948, where Noor's grandfather, Sharif, refuses to leave Jaffa to protect his house in Orange Grove. But war, displacement, and imprisonment tear the family apart. Sharif's son, Salim, grows up in the shadow of his homeland, which he never truly knew. When Noor protests against Israeli soldiers decades later, fate seems to repeat itself. But in the midst of the crisis, Hanan and Salim make a courageous decision that gives the family new hope and promises a path to reconciliation. Nah, I think I'll pass. Doesn't even look like it's doing good overseas. Sounds like potential Oscar bait, though. Or did it come out too late at this point? Sentimental Value, more Oscar bait, $53K in its 10th week. Resurrection from Janus Films, $44K. The Testament of Ann Lee, which is a musical, $39K. It's got Amanda Seyfried in it. I don't know why they made this. The Plague, another indie film in its 3rd week, going out of theaters, $34K. Magellan. Is this about the explorer Magellan? I think it is. I believe it is. Yes, it is. So there's that. It Was Just an Accident, still hanging in theaters, $26K. I definitely want to see this movie. Predator Badlands, still stinking up a couple of theaters, $14K. Obex, $9K. Oh, this looks very indie. The pre-internet 1987, Connor and his dog Sandy live a life of seclusion, lost in the slow rendering graphics of early Macs and televisions aglow with late-night horror movie marathons. But when he begins playing Obex, a new and mysterious game, state-of-the-art computer game, he finds himself trapped in a low-tech but high-stakes analog hellscape as the line between reality and game blurs. Oh, I think I did see the trailer for this. That looks like a coolish, low-budget thing. I could maybe see it. And at the bottom, Ella McKay, $6,000. Still stinking up 30 theaters in its 5th week. All right, and that's a total of $96,356,271 for January. Not bad for January, almost $100 million, considering Halloween weekend was worse by comparison. But overall, the movie industry is just dying. It's dying on the vine. No one's doing F all to help fix it, except making more crap movies and hoping they do well. But don't worry, they'll be giving plenty of awards out. Oh, they'll be giving tons of awards to one battle after another. It's gaining all sorts of momentum. Haven't you heard about all the other awards it won? And all the different friggin' movie categories they have? And, I mean, there's a thing. When you make a movie, and you're an indie guy, one of the ways to, or at least in the old days, to get some buzz about your movie and maybe potential distribution was to get an award. And what you would do is you'd take it to an obscure movie festival and win some awards. So then you could go to the distributor and say, hey, we won Best Editing, Best Picture at this award or that award. But everybody has, unfortunately, a film festival. I mean, they're everywhere now. So now they don't mean as much. So in order to, impress the same distributor, you're going to have to win a lot of those awards. You're going to have to win 20 of them, a dozen of them at least. Or an important one. It's only a handful of important ones. But they all cost money to enter these festivals. But some of them are literally so poor, the festivals, I mean. The movies I worked on won some awards. Because you basically just enter and somebody's going to win. Is what I hear. I'll say. So, the awards don't mean anything anymore. They used to, but now everybody's sort of wise to the scam. And even the big movies now are trying to do that. And who cares? Who cares who wins the Golden Globes tonight? No one cares. The industry people kind of care. They'll be talking about it in Variety, but that's about it. JEC. I mean, Netflix is buying Paramount. They're going to be wrapping things up with the theaters. No, they're buying Warner Brothers. If the deal goes through. Paramount still hasn't given up the ghost yet. Apparently they have some other tricks up their sleeve, apparently. But one of the problems with Netflix buying Warner Brothers is early on the Trump administration made noise that the FEC may not approve the trade or may jam them up. So behind the scenes, they may be saying to him, "Listen, you're never going to get this trade through. We're gonna jam you up in the court system forever." So this could all be posturing to get Paramount to give them even more money or to guarantee something. JC. The release of the last episode of Stranger Things is how it's going to be moving forward. Movies will only be in theaters for a weekend or two, so make sure you see it. You'll have to reserve your seat. Well, despite the fact that I completely bailed on Stranger Things and I didn't think it was worth going to a theater to see it or even watch it on TV, I do think that's a good thing. Because I think for some TV shows, it would be great to build up to a movie, right? Depending on the show. To me, like, if you had a real show, like, I don't really consider Stranger Things a real show. Number one, it's on Netflix, and number two, they didn't keep up with it. They didn't have the writing talent. It was clear to me. But if you had a show like, oh God, I guess like Star Trek, right? Star Trek: The Next Generation. What could be cool with a show like that is you could do, let's say, 2 or 3 seasons of Star Trek: The Next Generation, and it becomes popular enough that then you start doing, bigger story arcs, and then you realize, well, instead of doing a 2-parter as 2 episodes on the show, what we'll do is we'll do it as a season finale. And so you build up the episodes to a season finale, which you then release in theaters, and then everybody gets to see it in theaters, and then maybe you see it on TV too, or you see it slightly later. I don't know how many weeks. So yeah, I mean, I think that would be a cool thing to do, but they're kind of late to the game. Again, it's not even, although the material's terrible, it's not even the problem with movies. I mean, it's just the theater experience in general is so bad. Indie Phantom, think I heard this January is the last Sundance Film Festival. Redford passing probably didn't help. Yeah, like, what does it mean? It meant a lot to indie film back in the day to get distribution. But now, there are guys who, they make a movie and they put it on Amazon. They just pay them. They just pay Amazon. Amazon will put it up. Now, will it sell many copies? And will people rent it? A few people will. Not many. It's kind of like putting your own book on Amazon. You kind of got to do all the legwork yourself. So, that's where we're headed. We're headed to a world in which movie people will do what I think Louis C.K. is doing. And this is also just starting to happen in the book industry. Louis C.K. now, when he does a special, he has a massive, he built a massive email list. I don't know how he did it. I guess just because he's famous and a lot of people like him and emailed him, I guess. But he has a massive email list. And so every time Louis does a new comedy special, he just emails everybody and he says, hey, I got a new comedy special. If you want to download it, it's $5. And it's usually just $5. And like, at $5, it's not worth stealing, right? It's not worth the trouble of stealing it. It's only $5. So you might as well just download it and not risk, like, you get a bad copy or, you get some virus on your computer or whatever. And if you're a fan of Louis, you download it. So he's got enough fans that whenever he makes one of these specials, if a million people download it, it's $5 million goes right in his pocket, essentially, minus expenses. But there's not a lot of expense in that. Because basically all he's doing is what he normally does. He does stand-up, he develops a show, and eventually he, has a show at a theater and he just videotapes it. They're already wired for sound and video anyway, so they just videotape it. Probably didn't cost him that much, if it cost him anything. I don't even know if it cost him anything, because keep in mind, he's playing a show, and they're charging money for the show, so really, he just needs to cut a deal with the theater to use the footage at that point. Maybe they don't charge him anything. I don't know. I'm sure they charge him something, but not much. So to produce a stand-up special now for Louis, what's it cost him? Cost him next to nothing. Maybe it cost him, let's say it cost him $100K, because he's got to pay everybody and pretend like he had a production. Then he just puts it out, and 1 million people download it. He makes $5 million, and it goes in his library. Jesse, dudes, I totally got sidetracked and listened to the epic Gilgamesh sung in ancient Sumerian. Well, that's an interesting distraction. Yeah, I was doing something the other day, and I got distracted reading the Necronomicon, and suddenly I was summoning the dead. JEC, make you pay twice to make sure you get a seat. Try and market it on FOMO, and you can't get tickets. It makes you want to subscribe to Netflix. True. But I think you could run it in theater. I think you could run a show like Stranger Things in theaters more than 2 weeks. I think you could run it for at least a month. Maybe 2 if it's any good. If it was any good, you could probably run it for 2. Because I think fans of something like Stranger Things, if the show had gone off the way it should have, they would watch that again and again. And it would just be a fun thing to do. So you got to make it more an event. You got to make a movie a bit of an event. Not a ride, but an event. Indie Phantom. I still steal free movies from Tubi because streaming sometimes buffer. $5 is no bueno. Really? Even $5, huh? I don't know. $5 is pretty low. I mean, I'm sure he knows some people are still going to steal the movie. So, $5 though, for me, that's like a thing I can afford. That's like back in the day when I used to go to Blockbuster. $5? Yeah, I'll pay Louis the money because I like Louis. I still like his stand-up. JEC, they don't care about the theaters, only use it to advertise the streaming service. For now, they don't. But again, I think Netflix is going to buy the theaters. I think Netflix will eventually buy AMC and turn it into the Netflix complex or whatever. I think they're just waiting for it to collapse. They'll let it completely collapse. AMC will start selling off its assets. Then when it's at its, bottom basement price, Netflix will just come in and just buy it all up for a song. And then they'll spend 2 years refurbishing them and doing all this focus group nonsense. And then they'll come back with a theater plan. I think. Because, again, it won't just be a theater. It'll be a bar, a restaurant, a theater, a store. It'll be a complex. And the theater will be part of that, and you could see things, but you could also rent things and buy things and eat things. Indie Phantom, I won't steal from CK because I won't watch him anyway. So mean. So mean. He deserves it. He deserves it for whacking off in his own bed in a hotel room. He's kind of an odd duck. All right, let's see what's happening over at Variety. Here's a still from Primate. The chimpanzee slasher also earned $21 million internationally for a global start of $13.4 million. All righty. Kennedy Center head, he's just a head? Oh my God. Insists they instigated split with the Washington National Opera, not vice versa. So all the talent that was scheduled to play at the Kennedy Center in protest, if you haven't heard this, Trump renamed, or I don't know if it was Trump or his guys, but basically Trump. It's now called the Trump Kennedy Center. So all the talent got mad and they're all pulling out of their shows. One of them's being sued over it because he pulled out at the last minute, which is no bueno. But the other guys are all pissing and moaning. I'm never going to play that place again. Okay, who cares? Like at this point, like I explained this in a video too. There was a time that the Trump Center, or not the Trump Center, the Kennedy Center, was a very high-end sort of venue, right? And that, I don't know when they built it. I want to say like the late 70s, early 80s maybe, something like that. But when they built it, it was still a time when people, they would go to cities for cultural events. You would go to cities to see Broadway plays and musicals and other operas and things like that. You couldn't really get them in the sticks. Now, that's not true. There are live theaters everywhere. In Hamilton, New Jersey, which was like, I mean, it's the blueberry capital of the world. It was basically all blueberry farms. We now have 2 live theaters. They have shows going off all the time there. So you don't need to go all the way to New York now to see a Broadway show. And in fact, it's worse. Who the hell wants to make the 90-minute drive to New York from Hamilton and then pay all that money to park, all that money for the tickets, when you could go to South Jersey's backyard, park on the street for nothing, and go see a show for like $35, and then go to a nice restaurant and walk across the street and just go to a nice restaurant. You can't do that in New York. It's too expensive. It's too much. So the Kennedy Center used to be this amazing venue that the idea was someday, maybe I'll go to the Kennedy Center to see something I can only see there. But now you can kind of see that stuff anywhere. And if you can't see it in a live stage, you could certainly see it on the internet anyway. So, like, the Kennedy Center is just not that important anymore. No venue is. And when it's in the middle of a city and you have all that added expense, the Kennedy Center became like a place for rich people to give themselves awards and see shows and operas, right? So, who cares? But the Trump sort of refurbishment of it gave it some excitement. Because Trump kind of understands, like, you got to rebrand things and kind of keep things exciting. But the guys running it before him were just these, old liberals who just would, we got to have opera, and then we got to have this and that, and all these, woke shows that people only sort of care about. JC, call it the Lincoln Trump Kennedy Center, all the presidents who were S in the head. I don't know if I could say the S word on YouTube. They're so weird about some of the words you can and can't say on YouTube. You'd also have to add who else? McKinley? Wasn't he targeted? You'd have to add Theodore Roosevelt. Is there one other I'm missing? Reagan? You'd have to add Reagan. Sydney Sweeney. Let's look at a picture of her. Ooh, nice. Kate Hudson, Dwayne Johnson, and Adam Sandler light up Variety's inaugural Actors on Actors Bash. So, it sounds like Variety's gearing up to hand out awards, too. They're already having a party. Why not just hand out an award? JEC, not in the head, though. Oh, right. You could call it the Headshot Center. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? What else? This is weird. Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir getting a live stage show for 2027. I never, ever heard of these characters. But they're getting a live stage show. I mean, I did a story about these guys, I don't know, like 2 years ago, or I read a story. But like, why are they giving these characters a live stage show? Who ever heard of these characters? Am I just crazy? Are these popular characters somewhere? I mean, I thought the Spider-Man musical was stupid, but I kind of was like, well, Spider-Man is popular. It's so strange to me. Ladybug and Cat Noir. Doesn't make any sense. Kit Harington was genuinely angered by fan petition to remake Game of Thrones Season 8 with competent writers. I don't know why you would be mad or bother to say anything. How dare you? Look, the show sucked in Season 8. Let's be honest. JEC, it's what the kids like. Children are watching them all day on their tablets. They are? Oh. I'd never heard of these characters, really. Oh, here we go. Golden Globes Best Fashion. All right. So we'll do the fashion thing. I know you guys love that. Do we have pictures? Here we go. Don't care about the dudes. All right. Here's Lisa. I don't know who that is. She looks okay, I guess. Wunmi Mosaku. I don't know who that is. Seems a little hefty. Probably a good dress for her. Snoop Dogg. He looks like a bellhop from the not too distant future. What does he wear? I mean, Snoop Dogg, come on. So not hip anymore. Yvette Nicole Brown. Is that the woman from Community? Wow, she looks very different. Looks like she lost a lot of weight. Ozempic is everywhere. Park Chan-wook. I don't remember him. Sherry Lee Ralph. Don't know her. Kind of looks ill-fitting in that deal. A little too hefty for that dress. Don't know who that is. Don't know who that is. Don't know. I was going to say that's Forrest Whitaker, but it's some other dude who sort of looks like him. He's wearing sneakers. Nick Jonas. Thanks for dressing up, dude. Nick Jonas. Vince Gilligan. All right, I know who he is. Where are the hot chicks? Babyface, don't care. Kumail Nanjiani and Amelia. I know Kumail. He was in an episode of Fallout. Don't know who that is. Kevin O'Leary. Kevin's looking pretty fit. I thought he was a little heavier than that, but he looks pretty fit in that picture. JC, is that your granddad suit? Kelty Knight. I mean, nice enough dress, I guess. Wanda Sykes? Boy, they really pulling out the second stringers. Lee Jun Lee. Wearing... what is this? Did she put on her dress wrong? Was she in a hurry when she got dressed? What's going on with this outfit? JC, doing the Illuminati diamond hand sign. Oh, okay. Man, that is a weird looking outfit. Doesn't do anything for her. Chase Sue Wonders. Who are these people? I don't know most of these people. Elizabeth Merriweather. Don't know her. Don't know her. She's kind of cute. Rel Amy. Or Lil. Mark Ruffalo. And his squeeze, I guess. Robin Wright. JC, I like it. Junu Lee's outfit, LOL. Mr. Wonderful was going the hand sign. Oh, he was doing a hand sign. I didn't notice. Don't know this dude. Too many dudes on the red carpet. What the hell? Audrey Nuna. Dressed as some sort of kabuki theater character. JEC. Don't know who any of these people are and would actually avoid anything they were in. Don't know who that is. Odessa Ray. Kind of cute. Alright, we're finally getting to some mildly cute women. Brittany Snow, I think I've heard of. Wait. Jen Statsky. I thought that was Trinity from The Matrix for a second there. Don't know her. Don't know her. What kind of celebrity lineup is this? It's like a celebrity lineup from an alternate universe where I don't know any of the people. Yeah, I wonder why nobody watches the Golden Globes. Who's this guy? It's like a comedian, because, you know, that's a comedian stance. Like, whoa. My God, what is this like? Oh, there's Glenn Powell. So I know him. Jay-Z, I think I watched a porn video with Brittany Snow in it. There's a porn video with her? I should have said prawn. Should have said prawn. Damn it. Jennifer Gardner. Okay. Her I know. Starting to show her age. Selena Gomez. Know her. Sarah Wells. Noah Wiley. He's big on that Pitt TV show. Stellan Skarsgård and his wife. Don't really know her. Don't know her. Don't know him. Whoa. Okay, Elle Fanning. She's pretty hot. That's a nice dress. Finally. JEC. It's all the people on a streaming show. They're all nominated for some streaming show on Apple TV you never heard of before. Where's your hideous husband, Mrs. Gomez? She's kind of cute. It's a weird looking face there. Kate Hudson. Kate Hudson back in the day was a smoke show. She still looks good, though. I mean, her mother's Goldie Hawn. She has really good genes. Nikki Glaser. Nikki Glaser. Yeah, I can't get past the face. Man. Dave Franco and Alison Brie. Alison Brie's still looking good. Still looking very good. There's Will Arnett, Jason Bateman, Sean Haynes. I guess they're there for their podcast. John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. Finally, some people I know. Man, you kept the famous people last. Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell. Yeah, they're still married. There's Jenna Ortega, who used to look hot. What the hell happened to her face? Her face, no. No on that face. Ed Harris. Oh, where'd they dig him up? I don't know who that is. I assume a comedian. Again, only the comedians do that. Kathy Bates. Looking pretty svelte for Kathy Bates. Don't know that. Dakota Fanning. That looks okay. Amanda Seyfried. Still looks pretty good. Jean Smart. Paul Mescal. Oh, these are all the famous people. I guess they all came in last. Natasha Lyonne, I sort of know her. Dwayne Johnson. Jacob Elordi. Oh, these are big A-listers now. Mia Goth. Mia Goth looks good. Mia Goth looks good, I think. Orlando Bloom. What's going on with his hair? Marlon Wayans. Hadn't seen him in a while. Kira Sedgwick and Kevin Bacon. Adam Sandler and Mrs. Sandler. Benicio del Toro. Always looking uncomfortable. Diane Lane. Diane Lane's still looking pretty good. Ariana Grande does not look good. Someone get her a sandwich. Oscar Isaac. Don't remember him. Amy Poehler. Oh, what's she doing these days? She used to be funny. Rose Byrne. Don't remember her totally, but I've heard the name. Hannah Einbinder. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. Mila Kunis, another smoke show back in the day. Still looking pretty good. Don't remember her. Jennifer Lawrence. Still looking hot. I like Jennifer Lawrence. JEC, it's especially confusing because all the fat actors are all thin now. Yeah. That is confusing. But man, Jennifer Lawrence, still a smoke show. Claire Danes. She looks all right. Chloe Zhao, or whatever her name is. Haley Stanfield, being pregnant. Jennifer Lopez. I mean, she looks good for her age. You gotta give her that. She stays in shape. But she just seems like really annoying, right? Like she'd just be a pain in the ass if you had to take her anywhere. It'd be like, okay, Jennifer, all right, you got the wrong champagne. I'm sorry. I'm not in control of the champagne. Just order something else if you don't like it. Don't make a scene. Just drink the champagne you have. It's an award show. It's not a restaurant. You can't keep complaining about everything. Zoe Kravitz. I never thought she was all that attractive. Sarah Snook. That's a name. Pamela Anderson. Whoa. Well, back in the day, she looked hot. She's doing the whole no makeup thing. I don't think it's really helping her. There's Michael B. Jordan. Julia Roberts. Still looks good. Still looks pretty good. Gotta give it to her. Rhea Seehorn. Kind of not a great dress for her, but looks pretty good. Charlie XCX. God, I hate that name. Leonardo's there. Let's see his date. I bet she's hot. Jesse Buckley. Anna de Armas. Oh, there we go. Finally. Whew. JEC. Man, Jennifer Lawrence is still hella mid. Ah, no, she's not. JEC. Ask Ben Affleck regarding Jen Lopez. Come on, Anna. You tell me Anna de Armas is mid? You're blind if you say that. Kristen Dunst and Jesse Plemons. She looks pretty good. Emma Stone. I mean, she's in shape, but she doesn't look as good as she did. She was so cute back in the day. Miley Cyrus. Not sure what she's going for there. Kind of a D.B. Cooper sort of look. George Clooney and his wife. Don't care. Go back to France. Seth Rogen. Don't care. Martin Short and Steve Martin. Kevin Hart looking very short. All right, I think we're done with this. I think that's it. Leslie Mann. She looks all right. Oh, there's Walter Goggins. Ethan Hawke. Chris Pratt. Oh, finally, we're done. Sorry to subject you to that. I didn't think it would go that long. All right. So, let's move on to Fandom Pulse. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 EP claims criticism of game's woke features was very unfair and disingenuous. If you say so, I mean, it's pretty simple not to be woke. I mean, it's super simple, okay? Here, let me tell you how not to be woke. Don't be a communist. Just make a good game and don't care about the races and sexualities of the characters. Just make a good game. That's it. That's all you got to do. It's not rocket science to not be woke. It's harder to be woke. It's harder to put all that crap into your stupid game. Stranger Things actor Joe Keery denounces President Donald Trump. Stop this man. Tiresome. Tiresome that you will, at this late date, say Orange Man bad. You just got off a show. You're putting out music as a he's got a band or something. I assume, he's got another movie coming out, a comedy movie that I was kind of looking forward to. Now, might have to wait for streaming. And why do you got to do this? How does this help your career to alienate 50% or more of the country? How does this help your career? How? They're so stupid to me, in my opinion. Netflix is adapting Philip K. Dick's The Future Is Ours as Spanish language series. What the F? I don't speak good Spanish. It's a Spanish language adaptation of Philip K. Dick's 1954 short story, The Golden Man. The project comes from Netflix Spanish division. The series might avoid the overwhelming LGBTQ themes that have dominated. Oh, well then, by all means, carry on. I'll suffer through the subtitles to keep the woke out. Feminist activist gets absolutely destroyed after claiming men's hate for fiction is directly correlated to them being devoid of empathy. It's just so tiresome, isn't it? This is some rando on X. Who cares? Who cares? Hunt for Gollum updates. JC, they'll have a button to dub it with AI. Don't worry. That'll be cool. Does anybody care about the Hunt for Gollum? I kind of don't care about it. I kind of feel like, maybe like years from now, and I get into a super need to see Lord of the Rings all the way through, and maybe The Hobbit. Then I would maybe watch The Hunt for Gollum, I guess. So I feel like it's so unnecessary. If anything, they should go back and edit the Hobbit movie into one movie. Let's see. This was a big story. I think I mentioned this last week. There was a Stranger Things actress who wasn't brought back in season 5. And if they had brought her back, it would have solidified her health insurance, and she has cancer. Now, she doesn't apparently have the kind of cancer that has, immobilized her or anything. But, why wouldn't you just bring her back to get her health care? I mean, they brought back 1 million characters in Stranger Things. Seems to me kind of a snub. Indie Phantom, tiresome is one way to put it. I was good one time through a Lord of the Rings. I prefer the animated, to be honest. JC, being real, dog, I never really cared that much about Lord of the Rings. I liked reading The Hobbit in middle school. That was cool. Other than that, it was just long-winded and dull. Yeah, I kind of just feel like the whole search for Gollum thing is just too much. Oh, here's good news. DC Comics turns famous Batman villain's grandson transgender, everybody. So I know you were looking forward to that. Ra's al Ghul's grandson is going to be transgender. Because there's not a more manly villain in the Batman Rogues Gallery than Ra's al Ghul. But now, his grandson's going to be trans. And I'm sure he'll be very understanding of him. Her. And her penis. A hot mic host, John Roca, claims modern nerddom would not exist without Kathleen Kennedy. So there's that. Indie Phantom. Yeah, I read The Hobbit, and that was it. So, obviously modern nerddom. I mean, if you're talking about the woke morons who took over Lord of the Rings and Star Wars and all these things and Star Trek, yeah, maybe. That's not really a flex. So, not sure why they're flexing on that. What else? That's about it for Fandom Pulse. Going over to Hollywoke Reporter. JC, I don't know. I don't care. Ghoul was kind of zesty. The whole family is weird. Wait. Domino is his grandson? I don't remember his grandson, but apparently he's trans. So that's the latest from DC Comics. I can't understand why they're not making any money. David Letterman slams Disney and CBS News over Jimmy Kimmel's suspension and Barry Weiss's hiring. That seems like an old news story, doesn't it? Or did Dave just get the memo too late? And why is he even commenting? I don't understand these old celebrities. Are you like that desperate to be back in the news, Dave? Damien. Oh, Damien. Oh, wait a minute. Damian Wayne? Is that his grandson? Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? Oh, I wonder if it's Damien that goes trans. Alex Ogle is here. Evening, bigots. I fixed 2 deficiencies in my movie literacy this weekend. I watched This Is Spinal Tap and Dog Day Afternoon for the first time. Oh, 2 pretty good movies. Indie Phantom. Transun. Ha. What did you think of first Spinal Tap, the first movie, and then Dog Day Afternoon? Bunch of stuff about the Golden Globes. More stuff about Tom Hiddleston as the night manager. Some kind of spy TV show he's in. Indie Phantom says, good flicks, Alex. JC, Dog Day Afternoon is great. Adam Sandler promises to make 50 more movies before I am dead. At least 25 of them will be good. I don't think Adam Sandler should be threatening his fans. And that is a ratio I don't think he can pull off. I mean, how many Adam Sandler... What's his ratio now? I like the Zorham movie. What else? I like the Zorham movie. I could probably give a pass to Happy Gilmore. What else? Alex, what happened to you? JC, better than your ratio up to this point, Mr. Sandler. I will tell you, Alex, I love Dog Day Afternoon, and it's great. And I like This Is Spinal Tap. I don't like it as much as I used to. I used to really like it. Indie Phantom, I love this 2015 non-woke noir flick called Too Late. Very cool if you like the late Tarantino clones, strip clubs, drive-ins, and dames. I got to check that out. JC, Punk Drunk Love and Uncut Gems. I couldn't get through Uncut Gems. I watched like the first, 15, 20 minutes, and I couldn't get into it. Alex Ogle, This Is Spinal Tap was much funnier than I had thought. So much more to it. Dog Day Afternoon turned out to be much more engrossing than I had thought. It is superbly paced. It is. It is indeed. Let's see. Bob Weir of the Grateful Dead, one of the co-founders of the band, died at 78. If you got any deadheads out there. Godzilla Minus Zero sets November release date in theaters. Ooh. Godzilla Minus One was great. I'm totally on board for that. That is something to look forward to. November 6th. Okay. K-pop Demon Hunters writers team with Tim Burton for Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. Huh. Now, I don't know. I wouldn't watch K-pop Demon Hunters because it looks stupid to me, but I mean, a lot of people say it's very good. So maybe I'll have to watch it at some point. So, I don't know. Maybe these guys are good writers. That's the team, I assume. He's been talking about shooting this movie forever. All right, looking at bounding in the comics. Anything going on over here? Storyboards show the unseen fate of Heath Ledger's Joker in canceled Dark Knight game. I guess we could look at that. Will it tell us? I mean, I assume he wouldn't be killed. Just end up in jail. It's an open world game in the pipeline. It was a tie-in to Christopher Nolan's film universe. Let players freely explore Gotham. With the film already released and the game nowhere near completion, the latter was ultimately canceled in October of 2008. That's a shame. The visuals imply the clown would continue to appear in the game's narrative rather than vanish after the film's ending. Well, yeah. I would imagine he would. So that would have been cool. A Batman game based on the Nolan Batman and Heath Ledger. Joker. Hey! Blue Archive director says audiences are tired of AI slop, want creative authenticity from their video games. And giant hooters, apparently. We all want giant hooters in our games. Oh, here's the character in the DCU. New DC hero Featherweight, granddaughter of Batman foe Ra's al Ghul, revealed as transgender. I've never heard of Featherweight, so I guess it's not Damien. I guess it's another character. Or did Damien rename himself? I guess it's another character. Oh, man, it's being penned by Greg Rucka. That's a shame, because Greg Rucka is a really good writer. But, God, I can only imagine what it must be like working at DC Comics, right? Like, I was pitching hard back in the day. I came close, I think, a couple of times to getting a shot at it, but I can only imagine, like, finally getting a gig as a comics writer, and then, like, the only choice is to pitch stories like this and characters like this, because that's the only thing that they'll greenlight, the editors, the woke editors, assuming that I could even continue to work there. So I wonder if that, or he's another guy who says Orange Man bad every day. But who knows? I know I just wouldn't be able to maintain that level of self-delusion myself. Let's see. The film industry is contracting? What? Says Deadline. But it has opened a lane for us, says Tom Quinn about Neon Streak. Indie studio counts 21 Golden Globe noms, red carpet. Okay. If you really think counting awards is going to help you. But okay. More on the Golden Globes, Golden Globes, Golden Globes. Extremist filmmaker Alexandra Molokonovov talks crafting authenticity in Russia's activist harrowing journey. Excuse me. JC, Rucka is a super woke. His kid got arrested in the BLM riots. That's sad to hear. I think I met him once. He seemed like a nice guy, but that was before the dark times. All right, so nothing going on at Deadline. Over at Bleeding Fool, Kingpin rules the MCU as Daredevil Born Again starts season 2. If you're interested in that. Grey Hulk's MCU debut, rumored in Spider-Man Brand New Day. That sounds something totally unneeded. Will Eisner, a comics biography, seeks to capture his legacy. He was a really nice guy. I got to talk to him on the phone once. He gave me many advice for doing my comics. Stranger Things finale was big, loud, and oddly safe. Amazon's Fallout Season 2 Episode 3, The Profligate. I reviewed that. That was a pretty good episode, actually. Really moved well. This season so far of Fallout's been pretty good. It's been better than the first season. The Wrap. More on Avatar, Fire and Ass. More on heated rivalry, because you know, the talk about the gay hockey player movie show is all the rage in Hollywood. Alexander Ogle. Sorry, was just tidying things anyway away. I wasn't prepared for Pacino to be playing a homosexual in Dog Day. It was quite a twist when it came along. Yeah, he also played... there was more of a controversy when he was in Cruisin', because I don't think he was gay in that, but he's undercover in the gay scene. I don't think he's gay in it. I don't think his character's gay in it. I don't think I've seen it all the way through. Christy Noam left speechless by Jake Tapper's Renee Good shooting confrontation. No, she wasn't. I think that's is completely. I've been reading completely different takes of that interview. That Tapper got stomped. He got curb stomped during that interview. Senator Chris Murphy accuses Trump of stealing from the American people in the second term. Wildly corrupt. Show us the receipts, Chris Murphy. I bet you don't have any. I bet you don't have any. Alex Ogle, what is the next Avatar film in the pipeline? I thought it was a joke when they talked about the number of films in the storyline, but it turns out James Cameron is stupid. I forget. Let's say. Let's ask the AI. What is the next Avatar movie? No. There's 2 upcoming sequels. Oh, wait. What date is this article? This is from People. Second movie is The Way of Water. Fire and Ash. And there's still 2 more movies. Okay. Does it say the names? Oh, what is Avatar 4 about? Little is known about the plot of Avatar 4, which will be released in December 2029. Cameron said that on page 35 of the 4th film script, there's a big move forward in time, allowing young actors to age up naturally within the film's storyline. Okay, so there you have it. So I guess they'll be recasting everybody. And maybe at that point, Cameron will jump ship and let somebody else direct it, and he'll just produce it. I'm guessing. Iranian filmmakers warn of deadly crackdown as protest sparks blackout. Silence will have regretful consequences. Good luck to all the Iranian freedom fighters. It looks like they're winning so far. Hopefully things don't take a turn for the worst there. Hopefully they continue to take over cities, and hopefully the regime just says, okay, just don't kill us and we'll let you take the country back. Trump is making noise about going in. I'm hoping it's just pressure, because I really don't want us to go into Iran. But I understand the reason to posture about it, to hopefully, give the protesters some hope and give the regime a reason just to call it a day. But we'll see. Indie Phantom. More Avatared is no bueno. Indeed. Bill O'Reilly asserts CIA had a deal with Venezuelan military to take out Maduro without a fight. I could believe that. Sure. Maduro was like a different level of corrupt. Like, you could be corrupt in one of these countries, but if you're the wrong kind of corrupt, like you're stealing from your own guys, yeah, you got to have a balance of corruption. Like, you got to have enough guys on the take that they don't turn on you. Because if they see a move that's going to make them money, they'll turn on you. Why wouldn't they? They're corrupt too. All right. Ben Affleck hasn't forgotten he's Batman. Just ask Kevin Smith. No, I'm not going to do that. Black Mirror is back. Renewed on Netflix, confirms Charlie Booker. Has anybody watched Black Mirror recently? I don't know. It feels like that's out of the zeitgeist a bit. Joan, I need you to take over for a minute while I take a short bathroom break. All right, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, Little Joan. stop your nonsense. Oh. All right, let's see what happened. Alex Ogle, movie pitch, Avatar 6, after bleeding this franchise dry and extracting every last resource from the fictional world of Pandora. Cameron sets out to find the world for real, succeeds, and then Sydney Sweeney in a bikini appears just in time to nuke the entire site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. Bravo. Let's see a draft on my desk by Tuesday. Alex Ogle, it's the Little Joan edgy comedy section. Careful with those flaming torches, Joan. You don't want to burn the house down. And she concludes her segment by cooking a pineapple pizza, the goodest doggo. How dare you, Joan? How dare you? All right. Whew. Did you ever stink up the bathroom so much even you don't want to be in it? Yeah. Shouldn't have ate all that dip at the Eagles game. All right. Let's see. Drew McIntyre wins the undisputed WWE Championship on SmackDown. Thank God. Stephanie Phillips' Daredevil delayed. New villain preview revealed. Oh, Marvel has delayed Daredevil #1 by a week. Another Daredevil #1. Okay. Who the hell is Stephanie Phillips, I wonder? GTA leaks reportedly lead to Rockstar employee firings. Interesting. There was a rumor this week that the game is being delayed again because it's not ready. Disney Plus Percy Jackson ratings decline, confirmed by Nielsen data. Oh, really? The woke version of Percy Jackson has problems with its ratings? Color me shocked. Color me shocked. Scarlett Johansson might be the Batman 2's real Two-Face. If that happens, out. I'm out. Alex Ogle, a friend forwarded me a video by Domino's Pizza of them carrying a pineapple pizza through a door in the Vatican that automatically absolves sins. You can't say it's a sin anymore. Damn it. He's got me on a technicality. All right, you win this round, Alex Ogle. The Italians will find a way. We'll find a way to make that a sin again. Scarlett Johansson as Two-Face would just not work. Look, if you want to make Scarlett Johansson something in the Batman universe, make her Poison Ivy. She'd be a good Poison Ivy. She's hot, still. Put her in a red wig. She looks good in that. She looked good as a redhead in the Iron Man movie and the Avengers movie. And then make her Poison Ivy. Simple as. Why you gotta go down the route of Two-Face? Why you gotta ruin Two-Face? Doesn't make any sense. Okay? It's not gonna be a big change. Like, it's just not gonna be interesting. It's gonna be like, oh, it's not Two-Face, it's his wife who's Two-Face. Like, who cares? That's not a big change. Indie Phantom. Some sites saying like 35 Disney restaurants in the park are closing. Think it was that park place. I don't think they're closing. I think they are getting off the meal plan, was the article I thought I read at that park place. Well, we'll get to that park place in a minute. I don't think they're closing. I think they are off the Disney like meal plan, whatever the hell that is. But I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them are closing, because the park has been doing a lot of refurbishing. Like a lot. I remember times when they would refurbish parts of the park, but they wouldn't do so much of it at one time. They have, seemingly, from what I've read, they have a lot of different parks closed down, or a lot of parts of the parks closed down for either remodeling, they're repainting the castle, which I guess hasn't closed it, but still there's got to be like scaffolding up and things like that, right? That doesn't look good. They're completely refurbishing some of their old vintage rides and putting in new rides that I think is a huge mistake. So you've got sections of the park that are just closed. It just looks bad. You pay all that money to go into Disney World. You want everything to be open. You want to feel like you got your money's worth. They're cutting back on perks. Like, it just sounds like a bad idea. Alex Ogle, ScarJo as Two-Face has me conflicted. Hot actress, wrong role. Yeah. Indie Phantom, Marvel cancels Blade after 10 years of rumors. It's probably for the best. Like, if they can't give Wesley Snipes a send-off when he clearly can play the character again. I mean, Deadpool Wolverine showed you he could come back today. He can come back today and play Blade. Why they can't make a final Blade movie with him? It would be an instant hit. It would be an instant hit. You could bring back some of the characters and just, like I said, at the end of the movie, he falls in a giant vat of like magical blood and he's reborn as Mashashira Ali. It's such a simple plot. It works perfectly with the character. He's a vampire. He continues to live. Now he's younger again. That's it. Indie Phantom. Okay, that makes more sense. I didn't know there was a Disney meal plan. Alex Ogle at Indie Phantom. On the one hand, I'm glad they aren't going to ruin that story any longer. On the other, it's a story that is good enough to build on more if done right. Oh, I watched the super extended cut of Watchmen the other day. It's a lot better than I thought it would be, much closer to the comic, even though it still gets plenty wrong. Yeah, it's got all the pirate stuff in it, right? Indie Phantom. Also, Disney is dangerous these days. Yeah, a lot of people have died. Like a weird amount of people have died in the park this year and in the final months of last year. I forget what the total is now. I think it's up to like 7 people in like 3 months or something. It's kind of crazy. Star Wars Starfighter will feature Jedi and lightsaber duels. Oh, wow, that's different. That's different for a Star Wars movie? You sure? Oh, maybe check your notes. You're going to have Jedis and lightsaber duels in a Star Wars movie. Well, color me shocked. You're not going to have any gender swapping going on? Where's the representation? Couldn't be more out of Star Wars. South Park Chaos hits Fortnite on January 9th with free items Cartman Land, Quince mode. It's kind of cool because the kids are all in like battle text because like the characters themselves are the wrong size for the game, so they gave them all like, their versions of a battle tech. It's kind of cool. Indie Phantom. Oh boy, lightsaber duels. Yeah, in Star Wars, can you imagine? I mean, that's crazy. Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista wreck everything in the first trailer for The Wrecking Crew. This movie could be good. I'm cautiously optimistic. I don't like Dave Bautista in anything other than Guardians. I've seen him in other stuff, and he always pisses me off, and he's just bad. He doesn't seem to be able to act. But in this movie, he's half brothers with Jason Momoa, and Jason Momoa is the funny one, and Bautista is the stoic one, and it's a cop buddy movie. So they might be able to make this work if a good director sits on Bautista and sticks him with a stick every time he has to say something. They could make that work. Because I gotta say, Momoa kills it in the trailer. He absolutely kills it. He's funny. He's punching dudes. They're fighting the Yakuza. Things get blown up. It looks fun. And they shot it in Hawaii, which helps because that's going to be a lot of production value. I assume the movie cost $500 million to shoot because they shot it in Hawaii, but It kind of looks watchable. GTA delay rumors heat up. Game is still not finished. Paramount pushes back after Warner Brothers' rejection stands behind $30 all-cash offer. I still don't understand the issue. People keep explaining it to me like this. Paramount has a counter offer to Netflix. They're promising more money. However, it's like more money down the road. So some of it's not in hand. But when they say stuff like this, I get the impression that enough of it is in hand that they should take the deal. But I can't quite figure it out without reading the whole deal. Alex Ogle, I thought Bautista played the replicant well in Blade Runner 2049. I think another actor could have done a much better job, but Bautista was quite acceptable. I guess. I mean, that movie's so horrible, and his role is so small. I didn't mind him in it, but the movie itself is like an abortion of a movie in my view. But Sebastian Stan apparently is up for Two-Face, by the way. But Scarlett Johansson, they say, might play his wife. So that's why they might do this twist where it's like, oh, it's going to be Sebastian Stan. He's going to be Two-Faced and he's Harvey Dent. But then, the incident that turns Harvey Dent into Two-Face is a mobster throws acid into his face. So instead of throwing it into the face of Harvey, he ducks and it hits Scarlett Johansson instead, and then she becomes Two-Face, I guess, would be the kind of plot. But that wouldn't be much of a surprise. I don't think they should go down that path. I'd be surprised if Matt Reeves did that. He seems way too creative to do something that it seems kind of like not that big a deal. Indie Phantom, I fell asleep 30 minutes into the crap BR sequel. The BR sequel. The BR sequel. BR sequel. What's the BR sequel? I already forgot. Sorry, we get enough of a delay. I can't think of it. More stills from upcoming movies. Supergirl, Mandalorian, and Grogu, and Toy Story 5, if you care about that. Oh, thank God I remembered to click on this one. All right. Everybody, once again, I was right. James Gunn's Superman box office called hardly remarkable. Indie Phantom, I don't like Villeneuve's sci-fi stuff, although I hope he does well with Bond. I do too, but I don't feel super good about it. Alex Ogle, I'm in an utter affront to computer graphics and representation. Two-Face will be half Sebastian Stan and half ScarJo. Indie Phantom, Blade Runner. Oh, okay. Yeah, I hated the sequel. All right. 6 months later, the verdict is in, and while James Gunn's Superman didn't bomb, and I said it didn't bomb, it definitely underdelivered. So, there you go. They go through the numbers here, and it's basically what I said. They probably didn't make much money. If they either lost very little money or they made like $40 million, which is, considering they put like hundreds of millions into it, that's not really an acceptable return. You don't spend $600 million just to make back 40. You're supposed to spend $600 million to make $600 million at minimum. So, yeah, it didn't do well, but it didn't bomb. And I said that, and people said, no, it bombed. No, it didn't bomb. It didn't bomb. In order to bomb, the movie has to lose money. And even if it only lost like $10 or $20 million, they more than made up for that in merchandise. So, Indie Phantom. But drunk Supergirl will save the box office. Oh man, that's how disastrous does that sound at this point? Right? So let's say Netflix wins the battle. And then they put out Supergirl. It's going to bomb. There's no way that movie makes money. It's going to bomb. It might, even if it's good, it'll bomb. Because it just doesn't look like the kind of movie that's important enough to see in the theaters. That's sort of the metric now. Like, what are you going to see in the theaters? Even for Netflix to, like, put it in the theaters, for 2 weeks and then throw it on Netflix, I just don't see it. I don't even think it would be worth the money. So, maybe if you had done a comedy TV show about Supergirl being a drunk idiot, maybe you could have gotten away with it, right? You could have made that work. But, yeah. Although the reviews say Miley Alcock is good in it, that she's very charismatic. So it sounds like it'll at least be watchable, but I don't think people will go see it. It's too niche. It's just too niche. Supergirl has always been very niche, and the very people who would go see it aren't being catered to. Because if they were, Miley Alcock would be in a Supergirl outfit that would barely cover her naughty bits. And there'd be scenes where her uniform gets blasted almost completely off of her, and, for the fanboys. But they're not going to do that. Indie Phantom. I will see Showgirls in the theaters. There's a revival here next month. Oh, wow. Good luck. Indie Phantom. Miley Alcock? Is that her name? Or is it Allie Milcock? No, it's Miley Alcock, right? I think that's her name. Yeah, Miley Alcock. Alcock. Let's see. What else? I already looked at the wrap. Geeks and Gamers. Magic the Gathering sets for 2026. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Marvel, Star Trek, Hobbit, and more. I don't know if any of you guys play Magic the Gathering. I used to play it all the time. And then I got into it like in the early 90s when it came out. Me and my friends would play. And then I played it for a while and then got out of it for a while. And then my nephews got into it. And then I got back into it. And I started playing it again. And so I've got cards from like 2 different eras. But both those eras, it's a fantasy card game. It's basically Dungeons and Dragons poker. And initially it had gambling in it, believe it or not. It was part of the game. You would gamble for the cards, the best cards. But now they're jamming every friggin' IP they could possibly think of onto a Magic card just to get people to buy the cards. I don't know how well they play. But it's just nuts. Indie Phantom. James Gunn actors have dumb names. Corn Sweat, also silly. Alcock. Corn Sweat. Yeah, imagine a commercial where it's just their last names. Anything else in Geeks and Gamers? Not really. More of the same. Checking in with the New York Post. Here's more on the Golden Globes. I probably should have used the pictures on the New York Post. They're a little more discerning of who they're going to show. See, they put all the hot chicks up front. That's pretty much the 3 hottest chicks other than Anna de Armas. She should be on there. Oh, I guess we should talk about this briefly. So the shooting in Minneapolis, here's this same interview that was referred to by The Wire. Truth of the situation: Noam clashes with CNN's Jake Tapper over Minneapolis ICE shooting. You don't get to change the facts. Boom. Alex Ogle, card game pitch, Magic the Gathering, strip poker, Miley Alcock and Sydney Sweeney to promote. Love it. Love it. So if you haven't seen the footage, basically there were these two women, married lesbian couple, and their dog in an SUV, and they were haranguing the ICE agents trying to do their job, which you should absolutely not do. These guys are law enforcement. They're doing a job. You wouldn't block police officers from raiding a house or doing their job, whatever they were doing. It's the same thing for the members of ICE. So they were blocking the street. They were honking their horn, making noise. Eventually, they were approached by 3 ICE officers. One was in front. The driver accelerated at him, and he got hit by the car, and he shot her. In that order, it sounds like to me. So you can look up the video if you want. But the bottom line is, you don't mess with cops when they're doing their job. And these guys are essentially cops. They're law enforcement. And she was shot and killed. And she has no one to blame but herself. And her wife even blamed herself. It's sad, but it's true. Indie Phantom. I want to start collecting old movie-related cards. I bought an unopened box of Jaws 3D cards, still with 40-year-old gum. Nice. Garbage Pail Kid cards. I used to have them. I had a few of them. Alex Ogle. CBC is lying about what happened in the incident and the riots it's causing. Too many Canadians trust that propaganda outlet. Yeah, the same thing's happening here. There's a lot of news outlets, and especially pundits on the internet, reporting that they just gunned down some protester for no reason. That's absolutely not what happened. You should never get in between law enforcement and what they're doing. They have the absolute right to arrest you if you do. And if you resist that arrest or do something as stupid as she did, you could get injured or killed. So the problem is there's a lot of people online telling people ICE doesn't have the right to arrest you. They absolutely do if you interfere with them. They're telling them basically go out and put yourselves in danger to save total strangers who broke into this country illegally, essentially. Some of them who are very criminal. Because, criminals don't obey the law. And one of the things criminals have done for decades and decades throughout human history is they cross borders because they've S the bed in their own country and they go to a new country where nobody knows them. And that's an advantage for a criminal. This is what happened with my ancestors coming over here in the early 1900s. And this is how the mafia came here. There were a lot of southern Italians who came here, and some of them pretended to be upstanding people, and they were mafioso. Indie Phantom. Facebook reveals CBC propaganda works on those easily led. Yeah. So there's a lot of people out there who are just using this over and over again. You absolutely should not interfere with ICE, to be clear. And, there's a bunch of the other thing that happened this week with the Democrats is they went from quietly not acknowledging that there's a portion of their voter base that supports Hamas and has been screaming about Palestine for months and months and months, to immediately turning on a dime. And every Democrat this week on X came out and made a statement how it was sickening that people are protesting with Hamas. The DNC made some sort of internal decision, and being collectivist, as they are on the left, they put out the word, and every single Democrat, including Commie Mamdani, put out a statement on X saying, oh, I don't support these people who protest in front of a synagogue in favor of Hamas. Which is good but very suspicious at the same time. So what's it mean? James Lindsay speculates that it means he thinks that the Democrats believe there will be some sort of attack on American soil, and that's the Democrats getting ahead of the curve so they could say, oh no, don't blame us, we condemned Hamas. I hope not. I mean, I hope they just decided to change tactics. Massacre unfolding in Iran as protest death toll triples to over 500, rights groups warn. Well, we don't know if that's the truth, because they may be trying to stage this in order to get pull America into this to topple the regime. Hopefully the regime will topple on its own. It could be happening. It could be worse. Who knows? What else? What else? Oh, lock him up. Top Minnesota GOP rep hopes Tim Walz leaves office in handcuffs over swirling fraud scandal. I do too. That's what this is. The Minneapolis thing is really all about. It's all about protecting poor Tim Walz's political career. Alex Ogle, Tony's ancestors turn up on Ellis Island. Hey, it's a nice country you got here. Be a shame if someone would, mess it up. American immigration official, don't worry, as much as you're going to ruin it, we already have pineapple on pizza. Tony's ancestors, forget about it. That's not how it happened. That's absolutely not how it happened. Just to be clear. Nice try, though. So, yeah, they keep covering this shooting over and over again. This is earlier footage of the woman taunting ICE agents, and you can see how she's parked. She's parked across the road to block their way. Uh-oh. Sounds like the Eagles lost. Oh, no. I hope oh, no. Oh, no. Damn it. The Eagles lost, everybody. Indy Phantom. Tampon Tin goes straight to jail. Let's hope so. It'd be great to see somebody go to jail, finally. Trump suggests Marco Rubio could soon get another job, president of Cuba. So this is the running gag of Marco Rubio doing every job in the administration. It's very funny. God, I can't believe the Eagles lost. Indy Phantom, pineapple pizza is calling me now in the evening. Chill. Canadian bacon be thick and greasy. Alex Ogle at Indy Phantom, we can only hope. There are other names I'd like to see prosecuted. Ilhan Omar, for example. She may get deported, which would be the best. Dog attack at buzzy New York City bakery Birdie sparks debate about pooches in restaurant. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure dogs should be in restaurants. It used to be illegal to have a dog in a restaurant. Indy Phantom, yeah, we need some arrest. Let's see. Awful Jennifer Lawrence slammed for rehoming dog who bit her child. This is so disappointing. Well, it bit her kid. I'd rehome it too. Sports. Mississippi arsonist arrested for setting blaze at synagogue once bombed by a KKK. No bueno. Liberal New York City politicians' plans to give themselves 16% raises squashed, but they're not giving up yet. No surprise there. Waymo rider Flees when self-driving car gets stuck on tracks near oncoming train. Well, I would too. I mean, what else are you going to do? I mean, if the car won't move, get the hell out. Hey. Haley Bieber. She looks good. All right, I think that's about it for the New York Post. Let's end on Breitbart. Start spreading the news. Affordable apartment complex New York Mayor Mamdani showcased has nearly 200 slumlord-like violations. That's just the beginning. New York is so screwed. I guess the Eagles are out of the playoffs now? Oh, man. Oh, man. My girl is not happy. Now she has to root for the Seahawks. Socialists built a shrine to a woman who was shot after charging ICE agent with her car. That's woke-tarded. In entertainment, however, Dave Matthews says Renee Good, that was the woman who was shot, was murdered in cold blood at ICE. So, shocker, yet another famous person is woke. I honestly think these people are still watching the TV news. I mean, you got to figure a guy like Dave Matthews, he's no spring chicken. He probably doesn't have a lot of time. He's constantly on tour, he's writing music or whatever. He doesn't do any deep dives on the internet. I would imagine he just watches the regular TV news and thinks that's fine. But you'd think when they make a public, a public statement, they do a little bit of a deep dive on the internet, maybe just to know what the hell they're talking about, but I don't think they do. They just figure, oh, all my friends agree with me, so I'm probably right. Probably. Indie Phantom, isn't the Super Bowl scheduled for some serious wokeness at halftime? I don't know. Let's see. Super Bowl halftime show 2026. Alex Ogle. That was a line from Dog Day Afternoon where the TV asked Sonny why he was robbing a bank and not getting a job. Sonny replies that you must be a member of a union to get a job. It's easy to forget how sclerotic American employment erotic. That is a $2 word. Indie Phantom. They want woke points. Let's see. The Super Bowl halftime show, February 8th, 2026, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Bad Bunny will be the main performer. Yeah, he's pretty woke. He hates Trump. He's from Puerto Rico. He'll be alongside Shakira and Jennifer Lopez. Those two I don't think are that woke. They're too busy. They mainly just concentrate on themselves. Pre-game performances include Charlie Puth singing the national anthem, Brandy Carlisle performing America the Beautiful, and Coco Jones sings Lift Every Voice and Sing. Halftime show is expected to last between 12 and 14 minutes and will feature a set list of Bad Bunny's biggest hits. I know none of them. The announcement has drawn both celebration for its cultural significance, because he's going to sing in Spanish, and criticism from some conservative commenters, though NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell has defended the selection as international and inclusive. Part of the deal is I've heard that the NFL wants to be international. They've been trying for years to get other countries to have teams that could actually, have their league, I guess. They were trying, I know, in Europe, they played some games there. Indie Phantom, J-Lo can't even get a Vegas show going. Yeah, didn't she cancel her Vegas show? Alex Ogles, so they really are going to push Lift Every Voice and Sing as the second national anthem? They have been. I mean, I thought it was a different song, but is that the song? I mean, it's so woke-tarded. They figure like, well, we could have both. There's only one national anthem. That's not a national anthem. Black people aren't a nation in America. They're Americans. Their national anthem is my national anthem. And, you can't just sing a different song and say, oh, no, that's the black people's national anthem. That doesn't make any sense. The NFL went woke a long time ago. They still have these trappings of being woke because they're still very corporate and they're probably tied into a bunch of ESG nonsense. I had the worst experience, though, going to the game because, well, it wasn't the worst. It wasn't a fault of, here's the problem with it. The stadium was freezing, right? Now, that, is not the fault of the stadium. It was just a cold day, but there was no place to go to, warm up. There was, unless you had club tickets or VIP tickets or mezzanine tickets. They had all these different levels that weren't the cheap seats that apparently we were in. And it was freezing. It was so cold up there, not even the bathrooms apparently were heated to any degree. We just went home because it was just too cold. But the stadium itself kind of is, I don't know, I felt it was cheap. Walking down the steps, and this is a big cement monstrosity, you could see that the cement steps were pockmarked from, I guess, salt, in the winter, trying to de-ice the steps. But, that's not good. I mean, they're big pockmarks to me in these steps. Big enough, I guess maybe they fix them every year, but if you just made the steps right, I'm pretty sure, or if you just built heated steps, you wouldn't even need the ice. You could just turn on the steps and heat up the steps. It's not like homeless people can get in the stadium, so what's the problem with that? And then at the bottom floor, they have all these places to eat, and the prices are just insane. It was $7 for a hot dog, $7 for a soft pretzel. They had outside, picnic tables that are made of cement. Now, I guess they have to make them from cement because people are idiots and they're going to break the picnic tables. But, it looked like prison furniture to me. They didn't look like nice cement tables. They looked like, they could have been in a prison. And it just didn't feel like an inviting place to be at all. So, with all the money the NFL makes, I mean, I understand they don't want to spend all their money on the fans, but can you spend maybe some of it on the fans? Maybe they didn't have any hot drinks at least any of the stations I went to. I was looking to get a hot tea because it was so friggin' cold. Nobody sold anything hot. No hot chocolate, no coffee. I would have taken a coffee at a certain point because I was so cold. So it's you spend all this money and you kind of just, do everything you can to get more money out of the fans. It cost $50 to park, and we were far away. We had to walk, I would say, at least 5 blocks to get to the stadium from where we parked. That's kind of a lot of money to park. But, it's Philadelphia, but holy crap, man. $50 just to park far away? $20 to park far away, I get it, but at that price, I might as well take the friggin' train in. But, you can't even do that because apparently the subway to Philadelphia is a nightmare. So good luck with that. You might be okay on the way into the game because all the fans are coming in, but you got to leave at the right time on the way out, or else you might be, with all the homeless people on the way out, I guess. So I just felt like the entire experience was bad. Um, it just was. Maybe if the weather had been nice, it wouldn't have mattered because it would have been so nice that I would have been like, "Oh, this is a cool day." But I think the NFL really needs to, I don't know, invest a little bit of money in the fans. And those tickets aren't cheap; they're expensive. Anyhow, off my soapbox. DHS lambasts pop star Billie Eilish for spreading anti-ICE garbage rhetoric. I mean, is there a celebrity or singer left that won't comment about ICE like they know anything? I mean, they're just doing their jobs. These people are in the country illegally. They're just removing illegal aliens. They're not rounding up every migrant. If you're here legally, you have paperwork to back that up. And in this day and age, you better carry it with you, I would say. But other than that, you're a guest in this country, and we treat our guests fine. But if you're here illegally, go to F home. Actress Leah Thompson is effing pissed, gets choked up over Renee Good. ICE agents shoot up people for no reason. No, there was a reason. Indy Phantom. Yeah, I remember my last hockey game in Ottawa. I was like, going to save money and hassle. Too old for this crap. Yeah. I mean, I would have toughed it out, but man, I was cold. We had hand warmers and they didn't really do any good. And like, I thought about wearing thermal underwear, but I thought, what am I going to need thermal underwear? Then I thought I'd be too hot, but man, I really needed it. Had I known it was going to be that cold, I would have worn thermal underwear and my thermal socks. Alex Ogle. Actors and singers are so dumb. Like the cadre of British actors campaigning for that vile Egyptian to come to the UK, ignoring his racist tweets. Yeah, it's like these people, I don't know. On the one hand, I think, like Dave Matthews, I think he's just too busy. He just watches TV news. He kind of half pays attention, and then he forms his opinion that way, and it agrees with everybody around him, so he feels like he's in the right. But then I think some of these guys are making a conscious decision. No, I have to, say these things because the people I work with who pay me all this money also feel this way, and if I feel any other way, they're going to blast me, or I can't let them think I don't hate Donald Trump, so I have to say this stuff, or something like that. Whereas I don't think they have to make a comment at all. Like, I could have gone the rest of my life without hearing about Dave Matthews' opinion about ICE. Like, who cares, man? You're just a singer. Sing your songs. I mean, if you make a song about ICE, whatever, but Indy Phantom. Jesus Lee, just stay retired and quiet. No Howard the Duck sequel for her. Well, they can't bring back Jeffrey Jones either. Oh, speaking of Jeffrey Jones, this was a big deal. Kind of a big shock. The West Wing actor, and he was on 30-something, you'll remember, Timothy Busfeld, accused of horrible things with children on the set of a Fox TV series, The Cleaning Lady. This guy's pretty famous in TV. And he's married to Melissa Gilbert from Little House on the Prairie. Do you remember her? And there was a story on the New York Post, I guess it's gone today, where she said they point out that she just recently was blasting Hollywood for the treatment of, children on the set and child stars and whatnot. And here her husband is being accused of some pretty dark things.
So it's this is kind of a big shock. I mean, not that any of these people in this business, I mean, it's always a shock, but this is like, he's kind of up there. I don't know if you remember him. I mean, he was pretty famous back in the day. Anti-Ice, one battle after another, dominating award season. Grabs most nominations from SAG-AFTRA. See, this is going to win Oscar after Oscar. That's my prediction. One battle after another dominated nominations to the Actor Awards on Wednesday, with Paul Thomas Anderson's ragtag revolutionary saga landing a record 7 nods in the annual SAG-AFTRA honors. In the 31 years of Actor Awards, formerly known as the Screen Actor Guild Awards, no movie has received more than 5 nominations, along with a nod for the Guild's top award, Best Ensemble. The cast of One Battle After Another was showered with nominations for Leonardo DiCaprio, Chase Infinity, Tiana Taylor, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, and its stunt performers. So, and I heard the stunts were pretty good in it, by the way. The 4 other nominees for Best Ensembles, I don't care. Sinners is on the list. With a Best Actor nod for Michael B. Jordan. He probably deserves that. I would give him that. $. Alex Ogle. Buffering. Oh no, you're missing the best part. Oh no, I'm buffering. Well, let me check the tools. Didn't even make its budget back, so I don't think it really deserves much of anything, but there you have it. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, this was kind of interesting. So Conan O'Brien knocks comedians for getting angry, screaming F Trump instead of being funny. Now, Conan's a little bit of a hypocrite here because he did blast Trump for his treatment of Haiti. You remember Trump called Haiti an S-hole? I guess that was in his first term. And Conan was one of the many celebrities who, I don't know, he went to Haiti, or he posted pictures of himself saying, wearing a shirt said I love, pictures of himself saying, wearing a shirt said I love Haiti or whatever. But, I mean, he is right. Indie Phantom seems back now. Oh, okay, good. So I'm glad Conan is at least calling it out. He's a little late to the party, but, it's true. Aren't hilarious. And that's about it. There's I did an article in a separate video where there was this woke UK comedian who was trying to parse how to tell a responsible joke. Indie Phantom, Conan is a fence sitter. Yeah, I guess he would be. That would be a good description of him on the issue. All right, so what have we learned today? Well, we learned the Golden Globes is full of people who aren't all that famous and aren't all that well dressed, quite frankly. We learned that the Eagles lost, sadly, and that it's very cold in their stadium if you go in the winter. We learned that the box office is not terrible as compared to Halloween, at least. And Avatar is still making buckets of money, mainly because no other movie seems to be making money. All that much money, anyway. We also learned that, as always, celebrities are idiots, and they will pretty much say things, because they think it's popular. We learned about the Minnesota shooting, and you could all read about that. It's pretty obvious what happened to me. And we all learned never, ever, ever interfere with ICE, because they're just doing their job. All right. With that, I'm going to wrap it up. Oh, and we learned that One Battle After Another will probably sweep the Oscars. Probably sweep it and get a million nominee. That's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. I will be doing an event Thursday at the Blue Rascal. Indie Phantom says, we learned that Hollywoke doesn't learn. Yeah, that's pretty much what we learn every week here on Hollywoke Hot Take. Alex Ogle, I learned that I should have watched Dog Day Afternoon and This Is Spinal Tap sooner. Yeah, here, I'll give you another one. Did you see Marathon Man? That's a good movie. I love Marathon Man. The French Connection? Did you watch that? The Conversation? North by Northwest? Those are some of my faves. But Marathon Man's way up there. I love Marathon Man. Oh, man. But, yeah, Thursday I'll be at the Blue Rascal in Hamilton, New Jersey for my 7 p.m. talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. So that should be a lot of fun. Tomorrow I got to hit the ground running, get some more shows, so I could tell folks all around South Jersey and elsewhere about the Jersey Devil, and hopefully they'll pay me some money and buy my books. Oh, and I got book 19. Finally, I got copies. Took me a little while. And I'm working on book 20, so that's what I'll be doing this week because I got a lot of time off, except for Thursday and Saturday.